engaging in violating this guy's privacy and is later harassing him when he was the one who brought it all on himself in the first place, and intentionally. Embarrassing.
There he is.
I've been Turkey Tom. Bye.
It pains me to say YouTube has garnered a reputation for leaving their own creators in the dark when it comes to imposing important rules and regulations. Guidelines against harassment are a good thing, but how are investigative creators meant to follow them when the language used is so intentionally vague? I'm tired of pouring hours of work into a video only for it to be demonetized and age restricted with little to no helpful explanation. How are we supposed to know what to avoid if we don't know what we're doing wrong?
YouTube has slowly been more restrictive in terms of content creators, trying to tell stories of bad actors within communities. Content is the hardest to deal with, as a lot of what might be discussed has to be censored. For example, a History Channel might want to cover World War II, but to absolutely make sure they get that green mark, they might have to change a few things in the wording. Such as, the main bad guy of the Second Big War unalived himself when he lost. And this becomes a lot harder for channels that cover recent awful individuals that commit acts like and even and with YouTube's current system, the person being covered, if still out there, has an easier time taking down the video even if it has evidence, and the YouTuber is careful with wording as to not end up in court when covering the story.
It is very unfortunate that as the clock ticks and YouTube grows older, exchanging...
Why do some people use like this avatar thing? I don't, or this, not avatar, this lady is an avatar. I don't understand it. What is the... Who is this person? Is this the... I don't know who this is.
...legitimize their website in the first place, while they let corporations run around.
Okay, YouTube's here. Okay, I thought it was.
As time goes on, Team YouTube ceases to surprise with their pompous, unapologetic, hypocritical attitude. In the direction we're heading now, it becomes clear with each passing terrible update, unfair strike, and sketchy termination that this website in the eyes of Team YouTube has nothing to do with creativity, independent creators, and especially you.
I could not agree more, my friends.
Oh my God.
That all of your wise words will go to waste if no one sees this. So let's all go ahead and forcefully drag everyone down with us, starting with the following people. Susan Wojcicki. Stop fucking lying to us every time you have to give a statement in response to videos like mine. All these broken promises you've made that never come into fruition, all of these incessant changes that no one ever asked for or wanted, take some goddamn accountability. We are so sick of seeing the malicious and deceitful words you and your company repeatedly propagate. Either do something good for this site once in your fruitless life, or step the fuck down. Philip DeFranco. Remember when you and your team ignored us last time during the whole Answer Us PedoTube thing because you were too busy talking about some stupid drama? I know I'm not as famous as you would like, but how about you do the right thing this time?
Okay, wait, so is the spooky, creepy voice talking now? Is this the Max guy? Is that who this is?
And fucking say something. I know you're on break, so it would mean even more to me for you to actually do something this time around. Ethan Klein. I was told you talked to someone at YouTube for me last time. Thank you so much for that. I know you're busy dealing with important shit, but I'm gonna ask that you take a minute to speak to YouTube again for me. Privately is fine. Publicly would be better. Follow me back if you want details. Keemstar. You are always my fucking man when it comes to this shit. As a loving father, I know you won't let me down. Scarce. Thanks so much for covering my story last time, brother. I desperately call upon you for help once again. It would mean the world to me. Charlie, I look up to you because you're a good man. You stand up for what's right and speak out in defense of all of us smaller than you. But it is my regret to inform you that your video talking with the CEO of YouTube has aged like milk. So I'm gonna kindly ask for your help once again. Chris Hansen. People kept telling me not to talk to you, but first of us, and although you screwed the fucking pooch, I'm willing to forgive you if you speak up for us. I know you've got some connections that Susan can't ignore. I tried reaching out to you, but you ignored me, so now my audience will do it for me. Shane Dawson, I know you've done a lot of fucked up shit in the past and you don't really deserve everyone's forgiveness. But since you're one of the biggest creators in our genre, standing up for what's right instead of wasting time on haunted houses would finally make you look good to the public once again. This is your chance to redeem yourself. Don't squander it. Corpse.
Oh my god, dude.
I know you have nothing to do with this, but with all of your power, influence, and the favor you owe me, I just couldn't help myself. So, remember when you reached out after years of not speaking to me while I was at the hospital tending to my sick girlfriend, and you kept trying to rush me home to do you a huge favor, and then you threw me under the bus for something you did, and at the same time acted like you were taking full responsibility for it. But I let you do it because I thought you were gonna be my friend like you used to be, and then you stopped talking to me immediately after you were done using me. Yeah. So, how about you do me the fucking favor this time and talk about something besides yourself for once? It will give you a good look. I promise. Oh yes. If I have to start shit with every influencer in this goddamned planet just to make anyone give even a slight fuck, so be it. I'd rather have the whole world hate me than ever hear a child's voice being silenced again. If anyone wants to react to this video, my content is free for you to make as much money off of it in whatever way you wish. I do not give a shit. Bad press, good press. I just want to finally see some justice done for the victims in my videos. So, again, I'm gonna have to upset all of my fellow creators and make a goddamn disaster out of you, YouTube, because you never do anything until we start squeezing your balls. And this is the part where you come
Was that the
in,
draw card?
children. The links are in the description. I kindly ask you to come with me to make a fucking mess for the second time. I want you to pace this bitch until the world is nauseous from looking at it. I want you to drown out every trending topic so that even something like Spider-Man looks like a microscopic speck of dust compared to us. And tonight, YouTube will choose. Let die the pedophiles they love. Or suffer the
Shut the
little
fuck up,
children.
Lupin, alright? It's a stupid
And
fucking
by
meme.
the end of the night, I want Twitter to be a shitstorm.
Okay, this might be one of the most cringe videos I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy shit.
I've always been known for my bravery, and today will be no different. I'm gonna hit you with a hot take, so buckle your seatbelt, because I'm not pulling these punches, I'm not holding anything back. I'm gonna say what others are too afraid to say. Pedophilia is bad. Thank you, thank you. I know, hey, someone had to say it. Someone had to come in and put their foot down and say, enough is enough, you know? I'm no hero, but let me explain what prompted this courageous act for me today. A few days ago, a YouTuber named Mama Max posted a video called Pick a Side YouTube, and in the video he discusses a serious problem on the platform where creators that focus on darker subject matter are often censored, like Mama Max. This is actually a channel I've talked about before in the past. He's had his asshole stretched by YouTube, full goatee. He's had multiple videos taken down and striked for the most trivial of reasons. And it's mainly because the subject matter, because a lot of his content is investigations and exposing or talking about bad actors online, like a pedophile ring in a game or something like that. And in this video, he talks about that and how he feels like it's a serious problem. He brings in other content creators who have also experienced similar unfair enforcement of the rules against their content just because what they were talking about was darker. For example, bringing up Dan Schneider, the Nickelodeon guy who loved children's feet. He like ran that Twitter campaign of, hey kids, show me pictures of your feet. Haha. So when a content creator
Wait, did this really happen? What?
has brought up Dan Schneider in the past, they have experienced some problems where there'll be like a strike on the channel or the video gets blocked or taken down or something.
Wait, how long ago? How did I miss this? How long ago was this?
Feels really fucking weird where it's like, Jesus, does Dan Schneider have foot fetish assassins at YouTube HQ just flipping switches to take down content that calls it out? So the
2013,
whole video that Mama Max posted basically focuses on this very real problem where when a creator investigates something dark or talks about something that's pretty grim, they're the ones most at risk, not the people they're really talking about. So by just bringing these topics to light, there's been multiple times where they have been the ones to receive a strike or have their content blocked. So obviously for a lot of people, they feel like YouTube just prefers to bury this kind of information instead of trying to help the people that are affected by the bad actors that get investigated. And YouTube instead just punishes the people for investigating it. And it feels very unfair. YouTube prefers to throw all this kind of content into a cum dumpster, light it on fire, and forget about it. Clearly a pretty dogshit solution because if the content's getting taken down, less people know about it, which means more victims. So, a very serious problem. Now, this is where I get involved directly in this whole thing, because at the end of Mama Max's video, he wanted to make a shitstorm. He said he wanted to squeeze YouTube by their balls. He wanted to grab that goddamn nutsack and clap it together like he was fucking Hulk smashing it. So in order to put pressure on YouTube, his solution was to get a viral Twitter trend going. And the Twitter hashtag he chose was Pick a Side YouTube, and the two sides that YouTube has to pick from are either children or pedophiles. Whose side are you on? Good versus evil. The pretty wild ultimatum here. And you thought you had it rough when you had to decide between cereal or coffee for breakfast. Imagine YouTube's situation here. Do you choose the children or the pedophiles? And then he tags a lot of creators, hoping that they would talk about it and get traction there. At the end of his video, he also calls people out to talk about it. And I completely disagreed with this approach here. And I mentioned it briefly on stream, and I stream every single day, twitch.tv/moistcritical. Please feel free to stop in, put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd love to see you in there. I'll put the link in the description so it's nice and easy. I mentioned it on stream, and since then, I've been labeled a pedophile defender by some people on Twitter, or a YouTube shill by others. Which I couldn't fucking believe. I never thought there'd be a day where anyone in the goddamn world would think I stood up for pedophiles when I have an entire podcast of 270-something episodes, almost all of them dedicated to shitting on pedophiles. But...
Wait, really? And why? Wait, what is that? I think he means they just make jokes. Oh, like he just they'll bring up jokes about sharing pedophiles. That's gotta be what he means. Never mind, okay. That sounded really weird.
Anyway, I guess because
of course I'm against pedophiles. I have a podcast. We spent 270 episodes attacking pedophiles. It's like, that's a little weird, but okay, all right.
I disagreed with this silly hashtag. All of a sudden I got out Captain America's shield and I'm putting the pedophiles behind me. Get behind me, boys. I got us covered. I'll take the hits here. But let me explain. I think the pick a side, children or pedophiles, is extremely goofy and distorts the actual message of his video. The message of his video is very much YouTube censors dark content. They unfairly treat people who investigate serious things. And as a direct result of this censorship, it leads to more kids being harmed, more victims, and these disgusting, evil, fucking stinky, yucky groups existing in the shadows because the content that has called them out and brought it to light has been taken down. So it does create more problems for more people, more victims. That's the point of his video. YouTube taking down this informative content and using every excuse imaginable to do it. Hey, we had to strike this entire video down because at 3 minutes and 7 seconds into the video, there's an animated character's butt cheek playfully poking out from their swimsuit. So the whole thing's coming down. You fucked up. Sorry, big guy. You know, it's like, what do you mean? This is a very trivial problem. It's a goddamn animated character. You could have just, like, told me to blur it and it would have been fine. The point is, by taking the videos down that are informing people of dangerous groups, it in turn creates more victims of those groups because they don't know about it anymore. And that's the problem that Mama Max's video was highlighting, and YouTube brushing it all under the rug. Because they want their reputation to be more squeaky clean. They don't want these kind of, like, bad actors brought to light on their platform because they think it might be a bad look for the platform.
Okay, everybody, I think, gets a little bit too conspiratorial when it's like, what is YouTube doing? Are they trying to protect people on the platform because they don't want people bringing attention to it? It's probably not that. My guess is they probably have a bunch of algorithms that automatically look through every keyword, or not every keyword, actually, I'm sorry, not anymore. Now it's every single word in a video, and when enough words get, like, selected for, the video is automatically considered, like, not safe for whatever, and then it gets delisted. That's probably what's happening. And then, yeah, that's more likely what's happening. Like, YouTube's like, we need to protect these people so that, like, because that would be so much worse for YouTube, is allowing these people to thrive, you know?
Platform, so they unfairly treat those creators. It's a real, serious problem, and it's one I've actually talked about quite a bit in the past. In Mama Max's video, he brings up the interview I had with the YouTube CEO, Susan. He mentions that it hasn't aged well, and admittedly, he's right. A lot of the things I talked to with Susan and the policy team, they haven't come to fruition. They still haven't been implemented. They said they were aiming for 2021 to be a great year with all of these new features that would help creators, and a lot of them aren't there, almost none of them. But they have added a couple things, like now you have timestamps when you get a strike for, you know, what was the violation. So at the very least, they're adding a little bit. But yeah, it hasn't aged well. But what I did, and what I mentioned to them back then, is this problem. I even mentioned Mama Max by name and explained his situation to the YouTube policy team when I was on that phone call with Susan and the policy team. I highlighted this issue because it's an issue that I'm pretty passionate about, and it's a very serious one that needs to be addressed. This also comes into play with Mama Max's video, if you remember that controversy that happened, where Mama Max had this huge video that got taken down, and it was taken down, if I remember correctly, because he showed a phone number for like 3 seconds on screen. Well, instead of taking that whole video down, why not just let Mama Max know, take this out and the video stays up? I'm sure he would have obliged using YouTube's editing tools. So I wanted to make sure that they heard that suggestion, and I thought Mama Max did a great job in his video until the end, where he turned it into a, you're either with us or with the pedophiles type thing. Even though the message of his video isn't YouTube is protecting pedophiles, he's not saying YouTube is a sanctuary for pedophiles in his video, but his hashtag implies that. And I think it's counterproductive and doesn't really accomplish anything at all. It's a message, his video, I think almost everyone would agree with the message. But the hashtag, I feel like most people would find that silly and just write it off right away. Because it doesn't actually highlight the problem. It's just like this out of nowhere, hey YouTube, do you like kids or do you like pedophiles? The people that fuck those kids, huh? Do you like them? Or do you like the kids? You know, it doesn't do anything. Like there's no even like outrage that it generates. It's just like, what the fuck is this? Because if you watch the video, you have the entire situation laid out with the unfair treatment and censorship of content creators that are covering serious topics. And then you get to the end and it goes like full fucking V for Vendetta. Tonight there will be a shitstorm. I'm going to make YouTube choose the ultimate sacrifice. Where will they stand? With the kids or with those pedophiles, eh? I like Mama Max, and I really like the majority of the video until it gets to the end, because that completely changes the perception of the issue. I imagine most people who don't know the situation and don't know Mama Max will see this and just be like, what the fuck is going on here? And assume it's like another one of those wake up YouTube situations, if you guys remember that from like a year or two ago. I forgot the dude's name. I think his name was like Matt something. Matt Wabblemaster, Matt Wumbo, whatever. I don't remember his name. But he started that whole Wake Up YouTube where he exposed that YouTube was enabling pedophiles and even recommending pedophile content to other pedophiles or whatever the fuck was going on then. And it started that whole adpocalypse. Most people remember that situation. And then they'll see this kind of trend going on, they'll just assume it's kind of the same thing and write it off immediately. Because when you see this Twitter hashtag and you see all the people talking about it, it paints YouTube as this sanctuary for pedophiles, like Jeffrey Epstein's island. It makes it seem like YouTube's protected pedophiles for long enough, now it's time they choose the kids for once. When that's not the argument he's making. His argument is because YouTube keeps censoring the content where we're calling these kind of people out, it puts the kids in jeopardy. So the issue is more the YouTube censorship, taking down content that focuses on dark things. And that is the problem. Not that YouTube is choosing to cater to pedophiles or anything like that. So the message gets totally distorted, and it just creates a hostile environment where people fight each other, even though everyone's on the same side. It just causes all of this infighting, because when people point this out that, like, hey, this isn't the most effective Twitter trend to get the message across, they're immediately labeled pro-pedophilia. I've seen it non-stop from anyone that dares question the efficiency of this Twitter hashtag. They immediately get dogpiled by others, accusing them of defending pedophiles or picking YouTube's side, like, oh, so you've chosen where your allegiances lie now, and it's with those pedophiles, huh? Like, it's kind of disgusting, actually, to try and make, like, a war out of it when everyone in that battle is kind of on the same side. Everyone agrees with the message of the Mama Max video, but disagrees that it needs to be painted as a kids versus pedophiles issue, because that doesn't actually encapsulate the problem. So that's all I was saying, is that I think that was the worst possible approach to getting the issue highlighted.
I don't know, guys. Charlie's sounding a little pro-pedophile in this video.
For people that aren't already in the know about the situation. Because, again, that pick a side, children or pedophiles thing, I just didn't think that was the right play. If you wanted something that would actually, like, highlight what was going on, it should have been more focused on the core problem of YouTube censorship, especially when it could directly harm kids if you wanted to focus on that angle. YouTube censorship can harm kids by allowing these kind of fucking bad assholes out there, these dangerous people, to keep hurting them or doing awful shit. That's what I was saying. The hashtag does nothing to aid in solving the problem or even highlighting to the problem to people that don't already know about it. All it did was split people who were already on the same side and had them fighting amongst themselves for no reason and getting labeled terrible shit just because they thought the hashtag was ineffective at getting the problem out there. So I just don't think it accomplished anything. I really do think it was counterproductive. There would have been a better hashtag to use if that was the direction he thought was best, which was Twitter traction. And I agree that's usually a very good course of action since Team YouTube is very active on Twitter. But there should have been a better hashtag that actually highlighted the problem that YouTube could have potentially addressed and brought forward. Like, look, we can see there's an issue going on here, but they're not going to do that with pick a side, children or pedophiles, because they don't know what the issue is if they're just looking at that hashtag. They don't know what's going on. It doesn't do anything besides just confuse people and make people angry at each other, thinking that one side's defending pedophiles.
Holy shit, I feel like he said the same thing like 7 times. Could this video have been like 1.5 minutes long? Am I crazy?
And the others, whatever. Again, that's the point I was making. That's about it. So yeah.
Jesus. I mean, I agree, but okay. What
me included was in this video.
30
a bunch
minutes.
Of other YouTubers. I didn't understand why. To be honest, I didn't promote the scam. I didn't talk about people go. In fact, I educated people to not fall for the scam. Now, we all know that YouTube is primarily monitored, mostly from what it seems, with machine learning algorithms. There's simply so much content uploaded to this website that to have human beings sitting around watching every hour of uploaded content is literally almost impossible to do, okay? So when you have machine learning systems, I want you to think of it like this. When a video is uploaded and completely processed through the system, it is constantly being updated with newer features. Features such as transcripting, which allows YouTube to get sort of a play-by-play of what each word is being spoken in a video. So in this transcript, I believe, from at least what I am speculating right now, YouTube will look through this transcript, find a bunch of trigger words, or find a bunch of strings that maybe are not exactly aligned with a creator-friendly video, or sorry, an advertiser-friendly video. And I guess if more strings are detected, or maybe a video is flagged, and a combination of various factors, a strike can be attributed. Now, of course, YouTube does offer an appeal system. However, the appeal system, like I said earlier, in my case, I literally told them to appeal a 15 to 20 minute video. They did it within a minute. It was obviously nonsensical. Now, again...
Okay. Let's watch the video shitting on Bad Bunny. Yeah, link it. Fuses are probably good to hold on to, huh?
Charlie, you have disappointed me. It seems you have aligned yourself with the pedos.
I will now unleash hell on you and your sick fans. The children will be avenged. Oh, fuck. How long has the voice changer been off? Not again.
I've always been...
Oh, fuck. Ah, I hit him twice. Wait, NA aim? I literally hit all 3 of my shots there. What? Fuck you. Okay, link me the